A lot of people ask me why I'm also always solo traveling. I probably do like 50% of my stuff solo. It's just because of that, hey. Yes. So at peace, no one else around. It's just you and nature. It's a pretty special feeling. I don't think you can really explain it without being in that position.
Have you done like large multi-day hikes before?
I haven't done a huge amount actually up until kind of this year when me and Mackenzie have been training for it. So we did a couple of days in the bib.
If you're training Mackenzie, you'll be right then. I was going to say if you haven't, blisters are a big thing to watch out for. But if you're with Mackenzie, you'll know all about that.
Oh man, he's a beast.
Yeah, he's on point.
Yeah, so we got a lot of work to do still before we attempt it in a few months now. I don't know how long September is, 3 or 4 months.
Because what part of the year were you thinking of going?
September.
Spring. It's not a bad time.
Yeah, it should be pretty ideal.
I've done
not too wet, not too hot.
Yeah, all the time I've done the Biblin's been, I think, winter-ish. So like,
how many times have you done it?
I went on it twice. So I was very short for like 2 days, like really close to Albany. Like just went up the trail from Albany, just the start of it.
Yeah.
When I was much younger, and then with Jack, I went from Peaceful Bay up to, I forget the name of the town, but that was about like 6 days.
Yeah.
And it was really wet. Mm-hmm. Like most of it was all right, but there's an area where they've got these boards sort of over because it's all, when it rains, it just turns to like swamps. It's just
I've seen that.
Swamp.
Yeah.
And then from there we had these like wet dirt mountains, but you'd put your feet in and just all like slide down, and we were in the rainforest and it was just like wet.
Hiking, especially multi-day hiking in the wet, is just a whole new ball game.
Yeah.
Got to keep stuff dry. Get dry at the end of the day.
I'm so glad I bought, because Jack bought the hiking shoes, I bought like the hiking boots.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this is awesome, because he'd have to like navigate around the swamp.
Mm-hmm.
And once I realized they were like 100% waterproof, I was like, just walk straight through. Just lift my hiking pants and just walk straight through the swamp, because it's got to come up to my shins to get in my shoes. So I was like,
if you can keep your feet dry, that's a big win.
Yeah. How heavy is all the gear you have to carry? Generally,
we're trying to keep it
including
as light
your
as
camera
possible.
gear.
For the bib, I won't be taking the big rig or anything, so we'll drop the weight with that. But I think we're hoping to probably stay around the 10 kilo mark. 10 to 13 kind of kilos.
Does it turn to like 40 kilos after a couple of days?
Probably, yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it all depends on, like, you walk through towns where you can get food and water, so it depends, kind of where you're on the track, because water's kind of like the biggest weight thing. A litre of water's a kilo, so.
Well, yeah, because I found usually when I'd go, because a lot of the time you got your pills, so you got the campsites, like all the water treatment pills, but usually we'd still carry about 4 litres of water.
Yeah.
Because you never know.
Exactly right.
And that's like 4 kilos.
And it's going to be a super hot day then.
Especially since you're going in the winter for us, we didn't have to drink that much water. You'll have to drink more.
Yeah.
Not that down south's particularly hot, but
no.
still.
But you can have those days. You've got to kind of be prepared.
Yeah.
But no, lots to prepare before we attempt it anyway.
What's the distance again?
1,005 kilometers.
1,005 kilometers. Yep. Easy.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome, man.
Yeah, it's a cool track, man. It's a cool track. It's like world famous. People come from all over the world to do it. So I figured I should probably do it as a local. Knock it off the list.
That's really exciting.
Man.
And I know you guys are going to kill it. And also welcome. Thank you very much for coming on the podcast as well. I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. And I know you got a lot going on. Over 100,000 followers on TikTok. 300 shy from 3K on YouTube, and also just over 25,000 on Instagram. Yep. So, how'd you do it?
Mate, lots of hard work, bit of luck. I mean, I think I attribute it to just doing what I'm passionate about and constantly learning and keeping consistent. I think if you're just doing what you follow, then what you produce, if you want to be a content creator, what you produce comes off as genuine, and that's how you win on social media if you're genuine. So just following what I love, man, and kind of forced into doing it full time after COVID. Lost my job and a lot of stuff happened, so able to commit a lot of time to it now, which helps with consistency. But man, it's been a wild ride.
No, that's awesome. So you quit your job. So what is it you like do now? Like, how do you earn a living? Is it all through social media, or is it, do you have you're freelancer, or what? How do you?
A bit of both. pretty much, when COVID hit, me and my wife were actually living in Japan. And COVID happened. So we came home and didn't have work. So luckily we're pretty good savers and pretty good with money. So we had a bit of money behind us, and I decided to just jump into doing what I actually love. And I didn't make money for most of last year, basically, just kind of winging it. And
so it happens when you start,
living cheaply. But the last few months it's been good. I do a bit of video work for different brands and stuff, and then like you say, I've grown a bit of a following now, so I'm able to work with brands and do promotional stuff as well, and a bit of money off YouTube ads and whatnot. So yeah, it's I'm not at the point where I can kind of call myself full-time creator in the sense of having a full-time income, even though I do spend most of my time doing it. But it's cool, even earning anything from it, and it's slowly getting to the point where I can kind of sustain myself, which is awesome.
Yeah. You go.
With your content, it inspired me to actually get a Jeep. I don't know if I told you this. But like, nice. I was writing goals at the start of this year, and I come across your Instagram page. I think you had like 4,000 followers at the time. You just started uploading the reels.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. So I was when I first followed you had less followers than me, like on TikTok and on Instagram. And then he's just like that consistent. Yeah, he blew up. And we found him separately. I remember showing you a video, and he's like, "I've seen that guy before."
Yeah,
yeah.
And I was just like, "Fuck!" I didn't realize WA had so many cool places. Like even, I think where were you down south just recently?
In the Sterling Ranges, in the mountains. Yeah,
literally, I saw that in your story, and then I was just like, I started dating this new girl, and I literally messaged her. I was like, "This is a place we need to go to." And now we're going down there next week.
Awesome.
Because of
you'd only known her for 2 weeks, and now you're taking it. Is it to Bluff Knoll? Was that what you said?
Yeah, we're going to Bluff Knoll. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. The girl, it's not about the girl. The girl just gives him the reason to go down south. It's like, I know I've known you for 3 weeks, but now I've got a reason. So like,
mate, sunrise on top of Bluff Knoll. It's a romantic spot. So
wow,
it's a good choice.
So what are you telling me? I should get there at sunrise?
Oh, absolutely, dude.
We'll take the drone.
That'd be sick.
We'll just take a tent, mate. Sleep in Buffalo.
Yeah, sure.
Can you actually do that?
No one's stopping you.
Yeah.
That's what I've noticed. A lot of your.
The better question is, can you do that?
A lot of your videos are drone orientated, and you're very good at flying the drone. But when you first started, it was just your drone and your phone, right?
Yeah. Up until a month ago, it's just been my cheap secondhand drone from 8 years ago and my phone. So it wasn't super high quality, super high production or anything. Just getting out there and filming, and I enjoy the editing process as well, which helps because you can make not as high quality stuff look better if you know how to edit. So that helps. But it worked well for me because I had a phone that weighed 200 grams and a drone that weighed 400 grams. And so you can go anywhere with that. Up a mountain, you can do multi-day hikes. It's a bit different when you have the big rig or even some of the bigger drones. So that's a whole new thing I'm trying to work through now. I'm trying to up my content while also being able to go to the cool spots. But
that's what blows my mind because when I first started video, like I understood like you had to learn the skills, but like when you first start out, it's kind of like, oh, I need a better camera, I need a better this, I need all the gear, I need to carry like 100 kilos worth of gear. And I think a lot of people get stuck in that, which is you've gone the opposite. You're like, I've got a phone, and then you've developed the skill and then upgraded the quality. Like the quality of videos are still good, but like obviously when you get a 10-bit camera or like you get better, more expensive camera, you can make better videos from your already good videos. And I think that's what.
Yeah.
Is that so your goal with that? Or is it?
Absolutely. I get people asking me all the time, like, "Oh, I want to make videos. I want to post stuff, but I don't have a camera. I don't have a drone." I'm like, everyone has a phone in their pocket, and like the phones now are just insane. Like we got the iPhone 12 Pro Max, and that's the highest end, and it's unreal. You don't need something that high end either. You can just have whatever's in your pocket. Just whip it out and film, and
something's always better than
start
nothing.
the journey. That's it. Like something's better than nothing, and you'll build up eventually and build a following. And I didn't upgrade because I just couldn't afford it, and I just it was working for me. And now that I'm kind of trying to get to that next level, I'm more investing in myself and what I'm doing. But man, anyone can do it just with what's in their pocket. It's kind of crazy in this day and age, eh?
Yeah, 100% is. Because I remember I reached out to you in January because I watched a couple of your videos, and then one of them you said you were in Perth. I was like, oh, I'll reach out, and I'm in Perth as well. And you were like, I just filmed my drone and phone, and I was like, bro, that's crazy.
Yeah.
No, it was really cool. But like, what was the, like, obviously, was it consistent growth that got you up consistently posting, or was it like sort of this one video that sort of first got this initial success and then you just kept getting hits like that?
Yeah.
Like, how did it sort of start for you? Was it just consistent growth, or did you just one day, boom, 5,000 followers?
I think it's a bit of both. Consistently posting is the key, and you know, if you're following trends, especially on TikTok, it's a platform full of trends. So I really try and hone into what's popping on the app, and then kind of put my spin on it in my niche, you know, outdoor adventure, that kind of thing. So I've had a few kind of viral hits, which has been pretty cool. Recently had this one trend of like this, I don't know if you guys seen the Google Map trend.
Yeah, I saw you posted like 5 in a row, and
dude.
That was a huge trend.
Yeah, that was huge for me. That I think I grew like doubled on Instagram just from that.
Wow.
So, you know, you get a bit of both. Like without the consistent posting, you won't get. I like having a follower base that's engaging and, you know, enjoys your content. So you need that consistent growth and some like, you know, content that's personal and that's a bit more of you. But to really jump up those kind of numbers, yeah, it's all about those big viral videos, which is it's an art in itself. And I haven't figured it out. I've just gotten lucky, I think, so far.
Yeah, I was going to say, is there a method to what hits and what doesn't? Or is it literally just like throw shit at the wall, like just get good as content and one will blow?
I mean, surely there is a method of some kind. You had to discover it, but surely it's there.
There is a method. I mean, people spend their lives just figuring out what goes viral and how to crack the algorithm and whatnot. But if something's popping and it's trending,
jump on it.
And you have good stuff, then just jump on it. That's what I try and do. And that one particular has just been crazy on both TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And I think what you were saying about just being able to record with your phone or like a cheap drone, or like I said, just whatever's in your pocket, I think really speaks a lot to like the message that we like to give to people here, which is that, you know, anyone can go out and make these amazing things happen. Everyone has a phone. Everyone pretty much has a smartphone. It's a long time since I've met anyone who didn't have a smartphone. And they
even my nana has a an iPhone 6 or something.
Yeah, like my nana has a smartphone. She doesn't know how to use it, but she has it.
Yep.
So, you know, it's like, you know, anyone can go out and record and invest the time to learn. And so it's really awesome. And like you're a living example of that, to be able to say, oh, well, you know, look at this guy's great videos. He just did that with his phone.
Yep.
You don't need a $8,000 camera and this massive, like, you know, cinematic drone or anything like that. You just get a cheap secondhand drone. And even if you can't get that, just pull your phone out of your pocket and just get started.
Absolutely.
So it's really awesome to hear that, you know, even until recently, like all you did was just use your phone. That's wicked to hear, because it really, you know, doubles down on the fact that anyone who's, you know, willing to put in the effort, passionate and committed, like you are, can get it done. So it's a really inspiring message that you've achieved so much, you know, with so little. Which I think is awesome. Like really well done to you, man.
Cheers.
Yeah. I think it loops back to like, you did it because that was your passion. You're like, absolutely, I don't care if this gets no views. I just want to do it and share it, and at least I can watch it someday. So going back even further, how do you find your passion, and then how do you transform that into something you can do every day and get paid for?
Yeah, I mean,
big question.
I mean, I think everyone knows what they love, right? And I think most people just don't think that it would be possible to do that full time. I think it probably seems crazy to a lot of people. And maybe it's harder depending on what you love. Some people might love, I don't know, tables. That might be hard.
Tables.
Like it'd be like make people, wood. Yeah.
There's probably a TikTok guy that makes content just about tables.
I'm pretty sure there is.
I haven't seen him.
I think you agree. Sure. You've seen like every niche on TikTok, bro.
Yeah.
I've seen so many successful.
There's like woodwork guys on TikTok.
Artists are blowing up from like as you've seen, like it's crazy.
Yeah. Dude's like just doing woodwork with hundreds of thousands of followers.
Yeah, no,
just somehow working memes into it.
100%. Yeah, you can create content around literally anything. And there's people out there that love the same thing you do, and they'll jump on it if it's good content.
Well, how did you know like outdoors, traveling, and all that was your that's the thing you wanted to do? How did you find that, and filming as well?
I think when I was young, really young, like I don't know, 5 or 6, we did like a road trip around Australia with my family in a bus over like 15 months, and that's probably what sparked it for me. Just traveling around, literally living like grubs, broke as, just doing whatever.
And you're like, I love this.
Broken happy, man.
I was young, I barely remember it, but I think that's probably what sparked it. And I've always been like an outdoors kid growing up and loved the outdoors and stuff. And here in WA, we're so blessed with so much amazing stuff. And like you were saying earlier, I don't think most people realise what we have in WA. It's just endless. And I guess just when I was able to drive and travel myself, I started slowly venturing out and discovering more and more of what we have on offer here, even in the Perth area. It's just unreal, and just fell in love with the outdoors. Hiking specifically is kind of my first love, and it's kind of branched off into anything outdoors. I do a lot now, but it definitely sparked when I was younger, and it's just kind of grown. And I've kind of just loved the whole content creation side of thing as well. Like, I'm passionate about the outdoors, but I'm also really passionate about creating stuff, and I love editing and I love filming. I know a lot of people don't like that side of things, and maybe that's the reason they don't choose to go content creation with their passion. But I really enjoy that as well, and so it's been a process over the last few years, especially with media and creating, and I'm still learning. I'm no professional with video or photo, but
how did you get into the editing side? Like, for someone who's watching this, is seeing your content, they're seeing you where you are now, right? But your content's freaking awesome, but like, you obviously didn't start off with those skills. Like, how did you get into that editing side of things?
I don't even know why I decided to create my first YouTube video. My first YouTube video was like 3 or 4 years ago. It was like a cliff jumping montage. And I don't know if you guys have been to Blackwall Reach in Perth.
Not yet.
It's like a cliff jumping spot on the river. I loved cliff jumping at the time. I was like, I think I had a GoPro. I was like, I'm just gonna film it. It was, it's still on my YouTube. It's my first video. It's so terrible. And I just filmed it and put it up, and I was like, I guess it's pretty cool. It actually like got like 3,000 views or something.
Oh wow!
Out of nowhere. I don't even remember how that happened, but I was like, man, this is sick, man. People watching it, and then people like going cliff jumping because they saw my video. I was like, man, it's so cool to be able to share what I'm doing, and that's like my biggest thing now, is what social media has brought me, is I'm able to share what Western Australia has on offer. I love Western Australia, man. This place is unreal, and I have big plans to leave Western Australia and do other things in the world. But sharing what we have here is just unreal, and then also just sharing, the amazing thing about just being in the outdoors and keeping active and experiencing nature and all it has to offer. So, creating content has been a way for me to do that, and I've had so many people message me and stuff, being inspired by what I do, and they go out and they climb mountains, like you said, go out to Bluff Knoll and go to these places I didn't even know exist, that's in their own backyard, and that's just the coolest thing to me.
Yeah, it's literally so close as well. That's what's crazy about it.
Yeah.
And I think it's so cool. Like, you pretty much, like, the reason you're going to Bluff Knoll is because you saw his videos. Yeah. That's literally the only reason.
I got a Jeep to go. I don't need a Jeep to do it, but like, you can take any car. But
Jeep's better.
Yeah, it's expensive on fuel. But anyway, it's like the lifestyle. It's like seeing that, because like, I work at home, and I don't need to go outside to work. I can stay here, and I'm stuck in the office. But like, I want to go out and be adventurous more. And I see content of yours, and like other people will be seeing this. Like, especially after COVID, we all had to stay inside, and just seeing that type of content really inspires people to like, wow, there's actually more to WA. Not even just people in WA, they'd be seeing around the world as well.
Yeah.
Of like, why don't you go outside more in nature and spend more time outside? So I think your content is like really inspiring. Like, it inspires me, and I'm sure it's inspiring other people to do it.
Yeah, I love to hear that, man.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
As someone who feels like truly myself when I travel, COVID and being trapped indoors for so long was just like depressing. Like, I actually like, because obviously I lost my job and a bunch of other things at the time, but I was trapped at home, like no job, all this other stuff, bugger all money, and I was sitting at home and I was like, oh God. So like, man, when I actually got to go on a hike for the first time after that, I was like, oh. Speaking of which, so obviously you love hiking, love nature and that. One of the things I find, because I like to travel a lot, it's something I'm super passionate about. I want to go to every country in the world. I want to do Everest. I want to do all that stuff. One of the things I found on the trail was the first day that you wake up when you're on the trails, when you wake up in your tent, and so you begin that day totally like cut off from society. There's that real like tranquil, present feeling. Do you find that you get that, and that it helps you be really like present and just really at ease with yourself when you're on those long travels?
Absolutely. And a lot of people ask me why I'm also always solo traveling. I probably do like 50% of my stuff solo. It's just because of that, hey. So at peace. Yeah. No one else around. It's just you and nature. It's a pretty special feeling. I don't think you can really explain it without being in that position. Even with people, it's just a whole new world, waking up away from lights and sounds and buildings. It's pretty special. Just
the soft sound of like the birds and nature or like the waves in the distance, just not beeping cars. So I live on like South Terrace, which is like a main road in Freo. So constantly, even when we're sleeping, like beep, beep.
Yep.
And so when after living there, I was like, oh my God, there's nothing here.
Yeah, I think some people that's all they hear their whole life as well. They never hear the other side, which is pretty sad. I think there's so much peace when it comes to getting out of the city.
Yeah, for sure. Like, cause one of the things I was saying, I think it was last episode or probably many of them, is that a lot of people are born, die, and never go beyond a couple 100 kilometers of where they're born, and they never see much. I've known people, like obviously older people, and through my parents and that, who were born in like Freo. They moved to Perth. They might have gone to suburbia, but they stayed within an hour of Perth all their life. And maybe the furthest they ever went was they maybe popped down to Albany for a couple of days and then went home. That was it. It's the furthest they ever went in their life. Did a couple of times and then they died.
Yeah.
So like, I think it's really good to have your channel and those sorts of channels to show people like, hey, like look at this, it's there. Because I think for a lot of people, if they're not shown it's there, like it's easy to forget WA has all these amazing things.
Well, I didn't even know. Like I'm not originally from WA. Like I moved here 2 years ago.
Right.
And the whole last year I didn't do any traveling. I hadn't experienced anything. Like I've been to Margaret River twice now. And I was like, geez, this place is actually amazing. And it wasn't until your content, like, shit, there's actually so many places.
Oh man. Endless, bro.
Yeah, and then like I had some friends because I'm from Victoria, and like I keep asking them to come over to like come visit me because they haven't come visit me yet. And like where I'm from, Victoria, I'm from Bendigo, it's quite a boring place, especially when you're born in a place. There's nothing. You go back, there's nothing really. I mean, if you're the first time visiting there, it's fine. But when I asked them to come over, like, oh, what's there to see in WA? Like I've actually literally sent some of your videos to them, just like shared it. And I was like, look at this. It's like all the beaches. Like look at the mountains. Like, and like it inspires them to want to come over, you know? So it's a good pitch for me to get friends to come and visit me. It's your content.
Oh, that's awesome. That's the goal, man. That's the goal.
Yeah.
There you go. I've been dying to ask this question now that we're on nature. So I found one of your videos, right? And you faced one of my biggest fears. So you were by the water, saw some dolphins, you swam in the water, and then you saw something.
Oh yeah.
And you shat yourself and ran. I would have froze. Can you tell us about that story?
Yeah, that was.
And what went through your head? Because that is my biggest fear. Like that's like I barely go deep in the water.
I'm with you.
So what happened?
What do you see in the water?
He's going to tell you. What happened?
Yeah, that's pretty.
Where were you as well?
I was in Walpole, which is west of Albany, a few hours. Yeah, that's where inconspicuous beach.
That's where I walked past. Yeah,
it's probably my favorite place in Western Australia.
Walpole's cool.
Unreal coastline, forests. We're in this. It's kind of like a hidden little bay, Bottleneck Bay. It's beautiful, unreal, cool little spot. We'll camp on the beach. Bit of a fishing trip, which I've been getting into a bit more lately. And yeah, we saw these dolphins come into our bay, which was kind of crazy because it's a really small bay. We weren't expecting dolphins to come in. It was kind of like a big swim from the outside ocean, and there was a big pod of dolphins. Whenever I see a pod of dolphins, I'm in the water. I'm like, I'm swimming with these guys. Recently, I swam with these dolphins in Bremer Bay, which is sensational. But yeah, it was pretty cool. We jumped in, and they weren't super friendly, so kind of just got up to them, and they kind of swam off. There was like 5 of them, and there was actually 4 of them because there was this. Actually, one of them was a shark. It was like a big reef shark, and
you caught it perfectly on camera as well.
Yeah, I caught it perfectly because I thought it was a dolphin. It was swimming.
I was freaking out watching the video, man.
You gotta send me this one now. I haven't seen this one.
It was swimming with the pod of dolphins, like next to them as if it was a dolphin. And first glance, a shark kind of looks like a dolphin. And so I was filming it with my GoPro. I was like, sweet, this one's coming towards me. And then I kind of just had like an epiphany. Wait, that's not a dolphin. It's a big ass shark. And there's teeth popping out at me. It wasn't like a great white or anything, but it was. Yeah,
I just remember seeing the camera go after being so smooth,
that's
and
the
I could
moment
sort
of
of hear
realization.
you, and like my heart was pounding. Like that's my biggest fear.
Yeah, man.
It was crazy.
Yeah, that was the moment of realization. I had like a few seconds of really good footage of it, and I'm like, oh crap! And then I literally
Did you just bolt it?
I swam hard. I have like 2 minutes of GoPro footage that wasn't in the video of me just panicking. And
How far out from the shore were you?
I was probably 80 meters or so. Like
too bad.
It wasn't terribly far, but it took me a minute.
That's
or so
far
to get
enough,
in.
man.
Yeah.
That's far
enough.
The sharks don't weigh in the video like it went the other way as well. I probably overreacted in hindsight because I don't think it was going to attack me or anything.
Yeah.
But we got the drone up straight away after because I was like, I need to see where this thing is, and there was 4 or 5 of sharks.
Wow.
just swimming around. The dolphins had bailed, and there was like 5 reef sharks.
Why do you think they bowed, mate?
Yeah, well, I think they looked like friends at the start, but
The reef sharks don't attack that much, do they?
no,
they're quite small. They're normally pretty friendly.
Yeah, they might have a nibble
It was just
on
the shock, I
occasion,
think.
but most people would just swim with them and love it. But I haven't seen many sharks in the water before. I'm pretty new to snorkeling, so
Yeah.
it freaked me out.
I think I've only ever seen one shark from like the distance. I've never yawn.
Yeah, I've never seen one.
That was a
in
nice
person.
yawn, mate.
Yeah, it was good.
You enjoying the podcast or what? Jesus.
No, I've that when I was at Point Perrin once, we saw a bunch of dolphins, and then we kind of went in, and then we looked at like from a distance, and we were like, oh, that's not a dolphin.
Pointy fins.
Yeah, I like looked at it and I was like, this doesn't look right at all. But yeah, man,
Yeah.
how close did you get?
I was probably a meter from it. Yeah, about that.
yeah, nah, I was much further than that. It was clear water. I was a long way away.
It's crazy because in reality they aren't super dangerous. They're not super aggressive, but
Still scary though.
you have that that picture and that vision of what sharks are like. You see one that close.
You just don't want to be that 1 out of 5 guys that got eaten that year.
Yeah, exactly right.
That's it. So, well, it's not many people, but I still don't want to be one
Could
of them.
be you. Yeah. Yeah.
Sharks are like literally my biggest fear. I kind of want to swim with them, like just to conquer my fear.
In a
Because like
cage.
they are, yeah. I actually want to do a great white experience cage, or even like a whale shark and swim outside.
Yeah, but
just to face my biggest fear. But yeah, it's just like I hate them just because like they're out there, but I also love them. Like I love all animals. Like I don't want any sharks to be killed. I hate that. But that's why I don't swim too deep.
Just dangle some meat in yourself, little hooks. Yeah. But so you do a bunch of travel, like stuff like that. What I wonder is, so do you want to do some travel like around the world as well? Obviously.
Yeah, absolutely.
So other than sort of Everest, because you sort of mentioned it before, I think.
Maybe one day.
yeah. Other than Everest, because obviously for a lot of people that's a big thing. What would you say is the one place on Earth, or a couple if you can't decide, the one place on Earth that you sort of have decided to yourself that you must visit before you die, like you must?
Yeah. I've probably got about 100.
What's your top 3 or your top 1?
The top of my list at the moment is I want to go to Iceland. Me and a couple mates, Mackenzie's pretty keen, I think, as well, to head over there. Just it looks like another world. Mountains and glaciers and the rainforest. I mean, the waterfalls and the landscapes over there, just a whole new world. So as soon as it's possible, I'll probably be heading over there. But there's so much more in Europe I want to do. All the Alps through Austria and Switzerland, Germany. I love mountains. It's not my favorite thing in the world.
We've noticed, yeah.
Yeah,
Jeez.
so basically places with mountains is where I want to be.
That's awesome, man.
Unfortunately, Western Australia, that's the one thing we're lacking is mountains. We're very, very flat, which is why I'm always down in our one mountain range. Like every week. But oh man, there's so many places. I want to go to New Zealand as well. That's something that might be possible sooner. than other places, which is good.
It's already possible, man.
Yeah, he's going to New Zealand in 2 months.
I'm going to New Zealand in actually about 6 weeks.
Yeah, awesome.
I'm going till December, but I have to pop back here for a month to do some
Sweet
other stuff. But yeah, for the snowboarding season, and then to just
awesome
after that ends, to just explore it.
Yep.
And then go over east. Wouldn't mind checking out the mountains over there.
Dude.
Doing some awesome stuff like that.
Yeah, I might be over there this year, so I have to come say hi.
Yeah, man. Well, if you're in Europe, I'm going all the way through Europe next year, so we'll have to catch up and climb some mountains together, man.
Sure, man. Sure. Yeah.
Be awesome.
Now, me and my wife have actually talked about living in New Zealand as well, actually. That's something that I'd like to do one day, just spend 12 months just living it up, especially on the South Island, all the big mountains.
Yeah, the one thing everyone tells me, like, yeah, sure, we all see the pictures, but the one thing everyone tells me, even the people who live there, like who've lived there all their lives, because when someone comes from a country, they usually play it down, because like, whatever. Even people who come from New Zealand, who just come over, they're like, no, it's so beautiful over there. And like everyone who goes there, they're like, oh, it's so gorgeous over there. Like it's all everyone says. And I'm like, man, like I'm excited. I want this.
Sold.
Like I've seen pictures, but nothing's like seeing it in person.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, whoa, got to get there.
Absolutely.
South Island, I'm in first.
Awesome, man.
That's awesome. So what are some others?
Oh wait, I was going to say, elaborating on that. You did a video at the start of this year saying your 6 goals for 2021. Do you want to jump into that?
Yeah.
I watched some of the video, but I'll let you.
I kind of want to just.
Do you remember them or?
I do remember them. Yeah, I wanted to just put it out into the world because I always have my goals written on my notes app or whatever. But I was like, I'm gonna make a video. This is what I'm gonna do. It was more adventure-y, athletic style goals in WA that I wanted to do because I knew that there wouldn't be much traveling outside Australia. So I was like, I'm gonna just try and conquer WA. Bibbulmun Track was one of them that I wanted to do, which I'll hopefully, fingers crossed, get done in September. But I want to do the Rottnest Channel swim as well. That was another one of my goals. I've been getting into swimming a bit. Unfortunately, that's come and gone. I didn't do it. I broke my hand a week before the event.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So I had to pull out.
How'd you break it again?
I was out hiking and I just slipped off the side of a hill and rolled down and
It's like
that's the risk. Yeah,
had to run in with a tree. Yeah, so I broke.
Who won? The tree won.
The tree won.
1-0.
Tree always wins, bro.
Unfortunately, I couldn't do that one, but I want to do actually the world record up and down all 6 of the peaks in the Stirling Ranges. So there's like on Strava, you have like the leaderboards. I don't know if you guys know Strava. It's a running app.
I use that.
We all got it.
We've got the segments and the leaderboards. So there's one for each of the mountains down there, running up and down them as fast as possible. And so my goal is to try and hold all 6 simultaneously this year, which is it's just shaping up to be a pretty big ask. I've got 2 so far. I attempted the 3rd last week and came 2nd. So
oh no.
I've got a bit of work to do there, but we'll see how we go.
Yeah, I see you. Even this morning, you walk with a weight belt like over your shoulders, don't you?
A weight vest.
A weight vest, yeah. Is
yeah.
that like 20 kilos or 10 kilos?
Yeah, 15.
15?
Yeah. That's training for the bib. It's kind of just to simulate the pack, basically. So I walk my dog every day for an hour or so and just chuck the pack on just to, kind of simulate that weight and strain that a pack brings. Because I haven't done a huge amount of overnighters with big packs. So I'm just trying to basically any chance I get, anytime I'm on feet, just chuck on the pack and get that in. But it helps with climbing mountains as well because you need a lot of leg strength to go uphill. And
yeah, it's good. It's good to simulate it. I was way overloaded when I went.
That's a common story.
Too much weight.
Common story.
The hardest thing would be to carry is like water and food. I reckon.
Yeah, and you got to carry
because the water, like 1 liter is 1 kilo. Isn't
dehydrated food.
So
man, like,
you got to eat it. You got to carry so much water.
Yeah, generally it's about 4 liters because you.
I mean, for like if you do, like you're doing on a 21-day one.
No, so what happens?
So
is
how do you refill?
There's huts all along the way, and they've got water tanks. So you have to take these pills, and I think one of them does about like 1.25 liters of water. So you just chuck 2 in a 2 liter bottle. When you fill it with the rainwater, leave it for you got to leave it for a few hours.
What does the pill do?
It purifies it.
It cleans it.
Yeah, so it's drinkable because you will get sick if you drink out of the rain tank.
Don't you have that? I saw it on one of your posts. You have that straw, the Lifesaver straw. What's that?
Yeah, so you can use Life Straw, which is like it's a straw.
It's like just a filter.
You can use this straw.
It's a straw.
It's a filter. Yeah, it's a straw with like a filter in it. It works pretty well on those tanks as well. You can get most of the crap out of it because there's often a lot of like algae and insects and
it's pretty much
all the bad stuff.
But then you can get the tablets which really just kill anything bad. It'd be fine to drink. I use like a liquid. that you just pop a couple drops in and
Yeah.
give it an hour or whatever.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty much all sorts of things, but there's plenty of water along the
It's
trail.
like every few days they'll have like a tap.
Every like 30 kilometers.
Oh, so even more often than that. That's
People
fine.
will
they put a lot of effort into it.
Yeah, it's amazing. There's huts you can
that's-
sleep in with
people will
water
die.
and toilets. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Some hunts are certainly better than others, though.
Yeah.
Some are
one in the
much
very
better
middle?
than others.
Some are really nice.
Yeah, like there's some really good ones, and there's some ones that are like, ooh.
Yeah, I think it's roughly planned out. So if you're doing like a 40-day bib, which is what most people would do, you'll have one hut per day, kind of thing.
Yeah.
To sleep out every night. We'll be skipping through like maybe 2 huts a day when we do it, but it's a really doable track for almost anyone. You can kind of take it slow, and you have access to a roof over your head every night and water you can drink. So
Yeah, and there's
But,
always, the towns pop in, so like also
and
there's
there's towns as well.
There's places to refuel on that, so
Yeah,
you
okay.
usually only carry about 3 days of supplies.
It's not too bad. So you also did a trail recently, the Cape to Cape.
Yeah.
But something bad happened to you. You need to leave Mackenzie on his own. What happened there?
Yeah, so that's another one of my goals for the year was to do the Cape to Cape, which is a 130 kilometer track down Margaret River Way. Yeah,
In 2 days, was it?
Yeah,
Or-
well,
yeah.
we were going for a 2-dayer, which I failed. I think we did about 70 kilometers on the first day and
Oh wow.
tore my meniscus in my knee, which is like I don't know what it is, but
Yeah, he said he didn't
it
fall
hurt.
or anything. Like, did it just build up, or
Yeah,
did something hit it? Like what?
No, I think
How
what
do
it
you
was all the sand. There's a lot of sand on the Cape to Cape. You're beach walking a lot of the time, and I just hadn't practiced that. So the twisting of the knee, just something popped in there. And I didn't really have many issues on the first day. We got to where we were sleeping that night, and I was like ready to go for the second day. But I woke up and we walked about an hour or half an hour, and I was like, man, this is like 12 out of 10 pain. There's no way I can go another 70 k's today. But Mackenzie went on and did it, which was sick. He's an absolute beast.
Yeah, I was watching his story because he was like,
yeah.
He was like, yeah, me and Cam, next story, I'm by myself now. And I'm like, oh shit. And then he got lost as well.
Yeah, he took a
He was telling us
took a
that.
wrong
'Cause
turn
I was
right after I left.
He kept putting it on his story, and I was just like
Yeah.
enjoying myself. It was like a mini movie.
Yeah.
But
no, I'll have to. I'm planning to go back and finish it off at some point because that's another one of like WA's most epic hikes.
Yeah.
That I need to knock off
Yeah,
my
good.
goals list. Yeah.
you can't
on
help
you,
that.
man.
You can't help getting injured though. Like that.
Yeah.
That's just a part.
That's it.
That's the game. You know, it's like surfers when they get a shark attack, they're upset, but they don't take it out on the shark because that's the risk. You know.
Yeah, it's
So
just
like
part of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well,
Especially
yeah.
when you're trying to do something.
Well, the main-
crazy.
130,
2 day.
150 Ks. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the main thing is rather than going, I got hurt, it's just clearly not meant to be. You're like, I got hurt. Guess I'll just get it done next time.
Yeah.
That's the best attitude to have.
Absolutely.
It's like, all right, cool, I got hurt, but it was awesome. Yeah, let's finish it.
It was awesome,
It's a
actually,
really
yeah.
good attitude to have, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not about to give up on my goals. Smash it, whether it takes me another year or not, whatever.
Yeah, and that's exactly the attitude that everyone needs to have. Is nothing great comes easy. Like, you know, what you've made with your channel, or the hikes, or the training. Like, it doesn't just roll up. Even when you decide that that's what you're passionate about, there's still a level of commitment. You have to work for
Absolutely,
it.
man.
And obviously, I saw when you were talking about it, like on your videos and that as well. There's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Like you were saying,
Yeah.
it's like, it's full-time work. It's not necessarily full-time pay, but it's full-time work.
Yeah, so much more than people realize, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, but the passion makes it worth it.
Mhm.
You know, you can do 100 hours of work in a week if you love what you're doing.
Yeah, that's it.
Not so much if you hate it.
I think that's what drives it, because you wouldn't have gone out and be like, oh, I'm going to start TikTok to grow it as big as I can. But you just, like you said with the YouTube video, you just wanted to make cool videos.
Yep.
And then that just sort of drives and you enjoy it.
That's it.
Like you got to get used to, because I know when I make my YouTube videos, I have to be like, okay, if no one's going to, if I post this and get 0 views, am I still going to enjoy making this?
Yeah.
And then if the answer's not yes, then it's like, don't do it. But
Yeah, it's the wrong reasons.
yeah, exactly.
Interesting thing that Casey Neistat. Have you watched some of Casey Neistat stuff?
Yeah. Yep.
He said it's like when you're creating content, if you're creating it to just get followers and just get views, you're creating it for the wrong reason. You got to create it because you're passionate about it.
Yep,
Because it's
that's
something you love, and that's because I teach my clients obviously in the business aspect to use video to grow their business, but I teach them to learn to love the content creation, because like at the end of the day, you're creating content. Yes, you're growing a following and building that, but
Yeah.
would you say you started off with the passion of it first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what I've seen from like Casey Neistat says that like the most successful people are the ones that start with the passion of it to create content because they love creating it, not because they want to grow a following. Which is really cool to hear from you. Because like obviously you can see by your content, it's authentic, it's real.
Yeah.
It doesn't come across that you want to grow your following and you want to make it full time, but it comes across that you actually genuinely you love creating your content. Like you'll spend however long it takes, and like you can see that, and that's what attracts people to your content as well, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, I think that's how you be successful long term. Is it's just something that you love, and if you're just chasing money or a clout or whatever, it's never going to be sustainable because you're just going to do things that aren't truly what you love. You're just going to be fake or sell out, or it happens all the time, and it's not going to last. I think that just being true to yourself is more important than having this amount of money coming in or whatever. And I always just try and I get offers all the time for like companies that want to promote through me and stuff, and it's just like stuff that I'm not passionate about, I don't care about, and I think it's just way more important to be genuine than any kind of monetary value, basically.
And it's your brand as well. You don't want to.
Yeah, that's
you don't want someone to come up to you and be like, "Oh, do you like this product?" And you go, "No," and they're like, "Oh, don't you represent it?" And you're like, "Oh, crap."
It's also the audience as well. Like you care about your audience, right?
I'm big about having a relationship with my audience.
Yeah.
I pretty much try and respond to every DM that I get, and I generally want to like help people explore and get into getting in the outdoors and stuff. So having that trust is really important to me. And I think that's actually a really valuable thing to being successful online as well, is having that trust with your audience that they'll stick with you long term. And even if it's a small number of people that love you for you and you have a good relationship with those people, I think that's actually way more valuable than having thousands of people that you have never talked to and that don't trust in what you say, kind of thing. So that's why it's so important to be real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is time, like, I try and respond to every single comment on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever, and DM as well. Because, like, I've had people respond to me. Like I reached out to you. I remember you responded to me. And even, like, it just makes you feel good, like, when they reply. So I always try and comment back to everyone. And, like, it's just, like, it takes up a lot of time, like, as you would know. But, like you said, it just builds that core community.
It's that 1%.
Yeah, it's that 1%.
Absolutely.
And when someone responds to you, it's like, oh, like, I'm going to watch more of his content now. So after you replied to me, I pretty much watch every video that pops up, like on my TikTok or whatever.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I'm like, oh, like, he actually cares. He's not just like clout chaser. Yeah. Which is really awesome. But something I wanted to ask you as well is elaborating on that. So you've obviously built this life that you want and you're young, but some people, they don't have the time or they don't even have the drive. So how do they go from, like, maybe not having the time or they're just, maybe they do know what they want to do or maybe they even don't know. Like, what piece of advice or inspiration can you give that person to firstly find their passion and then maybe not even turn it into a career, maybe just actually find their passion? Like, how does someone go from, like, not knowing what they want to do or lost or have no time to creating the life that they want?
Yeah. I think you just got to, if you don't know what you love and if you know that you don't like what you're doing, then I would say just try stuff. Hey, just do lots of things and find something that you do like. I'm sure everyone has some sort of interest, and even if you work full time or whatever, you're going to have time in the day to be able to try new things, and you'll probably find that some of these things really spark an interest for you and really, really what you love. And I always think that, if you're working in like a 9 to 5 and you absolutely hate it, then you should be doing everything in your power to get out of that situation. And if you don't know what you love, then work on trying to find out what you love. And if there is something that you're super passionate about, spend every minute you have extra working on turning that into something that can sustain you in your lifestyle. And even for me, like losing my job, and I moved back in with my parents when we came back to Australia from Japan, and just living super cheaply, but I was so much happier even having no income and no money because I was just doing what I loved. I think a lot of people just get caught up in, I need to have this much money and I'm spending this much money per week, so I need to earn this much money, but they're miserable for 8 hours every day. And it's just not, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to spend 8 hours, you wake for 16 hours a day or whatever, and you spend 8 of those hours being miserable just to get through, and then then what? Like, so
Yeah.
I think it takes a lot of courage to kind of step into that, and it takes so much work. It takes a lot of hard work, especially if you are in a position where you have to sustain yourself, you have to work full time, and something you hate. You got to work even harder because you got to spend the time that maybe you would usually use recreationally to really, step into something that's gonna make you more fulfilled and more happy. But you've got to be willing to do that, I think, to get a better life and actually attain happiness.
Yeah.
I think that's really powerful because that's pretty much what the 5,000 week journey is. Like when you're born, there's only two certainties: death and taxes. So that's the point of 5,000 week journey is we have 5,000 weeks to live, which is just under 100 years maximum. And like you said, what's the point of being if you're upset 8 hours of the day? That's 1/3 of your life, and you sleep in the other 1/3. So
crazy.
You let more like most of your life is just sad, and you're not doing the things you want to do.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter how much money you make. If you're not happy, you're broke.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And that reminded me of a quote as you were saying it. It's what was it? Oh yeah. People will go to work for someone else for 8 hours and they'll come home and not work at all on themselves. Like that's pretty much what a lot of people do. Like they'll work that and they'll be tired when they're really just uninspired to work on themselves. And so like not everyone wants to be like this entrepreneur or content creator, whatever. Like even my girlfriend, like she loves nursing. That's what she wants to do, no matter where she goes. And she likes the security and likes that every Thursday, once a fortnight, I'm going to be getting paid on this day, and that's okay. That's what makes her happy. She does kids, but it's like it's just about knowing what you want to do. So that's when you go to, like you said, look at your life. You look in the mirror and you're like, I hate going to work every day. Well, then if nothing changes, nothing changes. That's a really really powerful thing there. Yeah. Anyone else have any more questions before we wrap it up?
No, I think it's really good.
Covered off, yeah.
Yeah, I think everything you're doing is really awesome, and I
appreciate it.
I hope I'm sure your channel will continue to grow. I don't hope. I'm sure it will.
For sure.
And that you'll continue to inspire people like you've inspired all of us. So really awesome job, man.
Thank you.
I'll throw a bit of a curveball here. So obviously you're on track to like doing all these amazing things. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Such a difficult question, but like it's like what do you envision for yourself 5 years from now? Where do you think you'll be?
Yeah.
Or what do you think you'll be doing?
That's 30. Jeez. 30 years old.
Should you reframe that? Should we reframe that in weeks?
200 million.
5,000 week journey.
Is that 5, 10, 15, 20?
How many weeks is
2,
that?
4, 6, 8.
Where do you see
260
So you
weeks.
see yourself in
weeks.
260 weeks.
Jeez, that feels like a whole different question. 260 weeks. How many days is that?
We'll say 5 years, yeah.
5 years, yeah, wow. I mean, probably the last few months, I basically said to myself that I'm never going to work for someone ever again. I'm just going to work for myself and do what I want to do. So in 5 years, I'm hopefully going to be doing what I'm doing now. And I've, like we were talking about, I have so many plans to see the world. I want to see a lot of the world and a lot of the country as well, and just travel a lot. So hopefully, have seen a lot of the world in 5 years. And I think that's probably around the time me and my wife probably want to start having kids and thinking about that side of things as well, which won't stop me from traveling. I still want to just like get around and do
Take
things.
them.
So many family travelers out there.
Yeah, that'd be sick. So yeah, I don't know. We want to live in a few different countries as well, so could end up anywhere in 5 years. But when we can, we want to live in New Zealand for a bit, and then maybe go back to Japan and live there. Whether that lasts for 5 years or not, I'm not sure. It's a bit hard to look that far forward. But
Long time.
all I know is I want to keep following what my passion is, and
you won't know where you are, but you know
Awesome.
you just want to work for yourself. And you
Yeah.
want to do what you think is
that's
right
it,
at the
man.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Where can we find you?
I'm pretty much
TikTok.
everywhere. Pretty much everywhere.
What's
yeah.
your usernames?
Just Cam Bostock, CAMBOSTOCK.
Yeah.
Not Cambo. Everyone thinks I'm.
I was like,
everyone thinks
Cambo.
I'm Cambo.
That's what I thought.
Stock. Everyone thinks that, man. Everyone thinks that, especially on TikTok.
how do you say it? Cam.
Wait, you're not Cam Bostock.
Cambo.
Cam Bostock.
Bostock.
Yeah, but people
First name Cambo.
The username is together. There's no like dot in between.
Yeah.
People think it's Cambo. Stock is my last name. It's just Cam Bostock. TikTok.
Yeah,
Instagram,
perfect. We'll have all the
Facebook,
links below
YouTube.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
but
That's good.
you take it. Go on.
All right. Oh, you know what I mean?
Thank us all. Yeah.
Thanks all for coming on the podcast.
Thank you, guys, for coming on the podcast.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you, man, for being another one of our guests, our second guest. You've been absolutely amazing. It's been awesome to hear everything that you have to say and to be inspired by you. And I look forward to seeing you continue to be successful. So for everyone who's watching, make sure you check out all the TikToks, all his Instagrams, check out everything at Cam Bostock, and check out the 5,000 week journey as well. And we'll see you next time, guys.
Peace.
Peace out.